all I can say is you guys really got to use some different kind of judgment when you're thinking about social media out there. Stop all the foolery, all the foolishness, because it's only going to get you in trouble. And you know what I'm talking about? Yes, all of you guys out there TikToking your hearts out. Trust me, people are losing their jobs over here. Some are losing their licenses.
Welcome to the Licensed to Live show, where professionals, doctors, champions, VIPs, attorneys, and those in public office discover strategies that help you restart and gain what is lost when you find yourself accused. If another has doubted your integrity, questioned your credentials, or caused your actions to come under scrutiny, you are in the right place. On the other hand, if you have never felt the knot in the pit of your stomach when legal papers are served, the heartbreak of disappointing your family when the lock clicks shut on handcuffs, or had to appear before a board of review, then be aware, the longer you serve, the more likely you are to find yourself under the microscope of those who judge. Prepare yourself for this uncomfortable possibility. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jarrett Patton.
Welcome to this episode of License to Live. My name is Dr. Jarrett Patton, and I am your host for our journey together today and every day you choose to listen to this show. If you or anyone you know has been dissed, please invite them to join us along this journey. Simply go to your favorite podcast player like Apple Podcasts and hit subscribe. And while you're there, give me a rating, give me, some feedback. We will keep this show going. We've had this show going for a number of years now, and we're going to keep it going because you fire stars out there help pump me up too. Well, you know what I mean when I say diss, though. It's maybe I'm displaced. I've worked so hard and I got pushed out the way, or disgruntled, like this really isn't what it was cracked up to be, or plain old disrespected. Some of y'all are getting disrespected out there. But today we are going to be talking about social media and all the TikTok docs and some of the things you should do and a lot of the things you shouldn't do to keep yourselves out of trouble in this social media streets out here. And we'll get right into our topic right after we finish thanking our sponsors. Hey, this is Dr. Jarrett Patton. Do you need more positivity in your life? No matter what part of your life you want to transform, positive affirmations can help you achieve your goals. But sometimes making permanent changes can be difficult. Designed with you in mind, License to Live. Daily affirmations to rebuild your life will inspire and equip you to become the best version of yourself. License to Live. Daily affirmations to rebuild your life will set you on the path to changing your mindset, beliefs, speech, and ultimately your actions. You can change your life now by getting your copy at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your finer book retails, or licensedtolive.com. That's licensedtolive.com.
Something smells good. EH3 coffee. EH3 coffee. Premium organic. Nothing better than waking up. EH3 in your cup. Premium organic. EH3 coffee. Nothing better than in the middle of your day. EH3 coffee. Premium organic. EH3 coffee.
This is Super Bowl champion Mike Logan, and you are listening to License to Live.
EH3 has been our sponsor for the podcast for over 2 years now. Make sure, if you haven't tried it, check it out. Use Dr. Jarrett as your discount code. And hey, enjoy a little EH3 today. Well, I know you've been seeing it out there. You've been reading it, and it's a story we've heard time and time again. Some with the usual suspects, some with some others. And I saw some recent TV interviews with some docs that were TikToking. They might have been TikToking during their own operating room. And, well, guess what happens? If something goes wrong, that's what they're going to say. They were too busy TikToking and not paying attention to the surgery, and something went wrong. So, this has led to multiple people doing multiple things on social media. TikTok is probably the most infamous one of there, and they're getting in trouble. They are doing things that are probably a little bit out of bounds, causing them to get in trouble. Medical boards have been in and knocked out a couple of docs, and I'm not going to call them by name. I feel bad for these folks because in genuine, they're just having a little bit of fun and trying to promote their brand, as we talked about building your own brand in our last episode. However, there's a few things that you guys have to know. So the first thing you have to know is you can follow me on all social media at Dr. Jarrett. Spell out the word doctor, J-A-2-R-E-1-T. Now, you won't usually find me dancing out there. You probably won't find me out there acting a fool, maybe, getting drunk or drinking a bunch of shots. You might catch me if you tune into Snapchat. Somewhere I might be. Could be a football game, could be a concert. I was at Legoland a few weeks ago, so if you tune in there, you might get a little glimpse. But you're not going to see anything that would be disruptive to my brand. I mean, I've been through the ringer myself for things that, I didn't even do. And I know how bad things can get simply based on appearance. And it's something I continue to fight every day. But when I look at the way some people use social media, remember, there are lots of eyes out there. And sometimes once you put it out there, it can't be taken back. So you need to, even though you may be mad or you may be getting back at someone, this stuff can linger on, even on these platforms that say, it disappears after a day or disappears after so much time. Most of that stuff does not disappear. So you must understand this as you're putting stuff out. So have fun. Go to your family reunion, post some pictures, go out and have a good night with your friends and post some pictures. But what I don't want to see you guys out there is drinking out of beer funnels, maybe, taking cereal shots, and doing all that kind of stuff, because it's probably not a good look unless you're doing something with, alcoholism and trying to get more alcoholics. I don't know. I can't even come up with a good reason why you would be taking shots and drinking out of beer bongs yourself. And most of us have outgrown that, but there are other ways you can get yourself in trouble too. And this brings us to some very famous TikTok docs that built a large following because they would make little cute dances during their day. So they may dance with their staff. They may dance with their colleagues. They may just be dancing by themselves. And the ones that started getting the trouble were dancing with their patients, and there's questions whether the patients knew, whether they didn't know. But anyway, people start getting mad after it's all said and done. They may be happy at the time. They were satisfied with their services, but then maybe something may happen and the relationship goes south. And what? Is that me laying on the operating table while you're sitting there dancing and I'm under anesthesia? Man, let me tell you, if anything went wrong and a surgery I had or any procedure I had, in fact, I had to have a procedure on my eye. I probably should have posted those pictures, but you would have thought I got in a fight, had to get a chalazion taken off of my eyelid. And boy, that was not a very fun procedure, let me tell you. So if any of you guys are out there walking around with a chalazion, before you see the ophthalmologist, do some of the basic care stuff first and see if you can get rid of it. But anyway, if as they have this contraption clamped over my eyelid and I'm terrified, and I can't imagine if my doctor, before she started the procedure and anesthesia, just said, "Hey, I'm gonna get this little dance in here, and here comes the TikTok music in the background," and they get their little cute dance in, and I'm just sitting there panicked and in pain and all this other kind of stuff. I'd be pretty pissed too. So from the patient standpoint, it just doesn't make sense. So number one, leave the patients out of this stuff. It's only going to bring you trouble. Because, a lot of us deal with the general public, and whether you have a medical practice or a law practice or some other practice, there's a lot of stuff going on in the general public, and people may not always be on the up and up with you. So don't give them excuses. So let's use your social media to see if you are able to, have a little more fun. You can do things that are lighthearted, but leave the patients out. Number 2, leave the drama out of it. If you're mad at your work, if you're mad at your employer, if you're mad at somebody, don't take it to the Twitter streets. Do not take it to the Twitter streets, because you'll lose. People don't want you to be airing your dirty laundry out there. So simply just keep nice stuff. Even if you don't want to start something right now, then try to make it happen and just keep it nice and easy, because when people want to know about you, they're going to start to dig and they are going to find something. And this goes, you see it happen in celebrities all the time. They dig up some tweet from 6 years ago and they say, oh, why'd you say this then? And it was a bad look then, and it's an even worse look now. And the fact that it's getting brought up again, this is what I'm talking about. So just play it safe.
The time is now to refresh your career. We help doctors, lawyers, executives, and VIPs refresh and restart. Dr. Jarrett's coaching helps you build confidence, gain more credibility, develop more leadership skills, and gain clarity in your career path. Want to climb the executive ladder or branch out on your own? We'll put your career in overdrive. Visit drjarrett.com and sign up for your free strategy session.
So I was asked to make a list of my shoulds and shouldn'ts where it comes to using social media, and I did. So here they are. Shoulds. Number 1, think of social media as less social and more professional enhancer. If you think of it as a portfolio of your work, a reflection of what you stand for, what you're able to provide, and your skills, you can really open doors to new career opportunities. My most important advice piece is to build your own space online and use social media more as a billboard, which I'll touch on again in another tip. Number 2, you should consider using more than one social media platform. I view these spaces not as the social spaces they were maybe meant to be when they were built, but rather as powerful billboards in the online highway where you get a chance to be found. Number 3, team up with larger ventures to build presence and help spread the word. For example, and I'm going to give a plug here for my own venture, SoMeDocs, doctorsonsocialmedia.com, which showcases physicians to the community at large and allows for recycling of the content you already produce. Don't give your content away on social media without capturing it somewhere else and creating intellectual property of it that you can recycle on all available promotional avenues. So, for example, instead of just writing a very long paragraph as a caption on Instagram, make it into an article too, submit it, and have us make it look great and circulate it on our channels to our followers too. You get a bigger bang for your effort buck. Here's a few tips on what you shouldn't do on social media. Tip number 1, you shouldn't believe everything you see. The online world is filled with marketing strategies meant to pull unsuspecting users in. It's especially unregulated in here, so be careful. Number 2, you shouldn't post before making sure that you're squared away with your employer where it comes to online activity. My mantra here is that honesty is the best policy, and you always want to be on good terms with your employer where possible. Have that discussion, put it in writing, and make sure you protect your assets where it comes to the intellectual property you spend so much time creating. That's it. I hope that helps all of you. I'm Dr. Donna Coriel. I am an internist and the creator and founder of SoMeDocs, found at doctorsonsocialmedia.com. Thank you again.
Well, you heard it again from another expert. You heard it here on License to Live. Make sure you check Dr. Donna Coriel out on social media. Make sure you check out SoMeDocs on social media. The platform has expanded tremendously, and she's doing a lot of cool things as far as meet and greets and all types of networking things. So check all of that out. It's okay to use social media to make a message. It's okay to have a little bit of fun with social media, but don't mix your patients up on it. Don't air your dirty laundry, and just keep it clean, keep it peaceful, keep it positive, and you're going to be just fine. And remember, fire starters, if you or anyone you know has been dissed in their career, please invite them to join us along this journey. Simply hit subscribe and listen today to License to Live. Hey, and if you have more suggestions, more ideas, or maybe even you want to get on the show, reach out. We always have guests coming on from time to time, and we have a lot of fun. But for now, hey, use social media to your advantage and not your detriment. And we will see you next time.
No matter how disheartening the moment of accusation sounds, how deep the pain of immobilization stabs, or how bleak your future looks, no one can take away your license to live. Keep Dr. Jarrett's expertise handy and unlock your future. Go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or another podcast player and subscribe right now to Licensed to Live. See you next time.